Imagine you're going to a colony, a space colony. Now, this space colony, when you think about it, the first thing you probably think about is going to Mars. But I'd like to tell you today that Mars isn't the best option. There's one even better out there, Venus. Now, we might think at first that Venus is not a good option because there are a couple of things that are bad about Venus, such as there's a little problem with temperatures. The surface temperature of Venus is 450 degrees Celsius, and that's not ideal. And to make that matters worse, you don't have to be a nerd like me watching all these documentaries to know that the surface pressure of Venus is enough to crush most military-grade submarines. However, I kid you not, Venus's atmosphere is the perfect place to make cloud cities. Now, I'd like to tell you 3 things about Venus that make it the most ideal place to colonize. 1, that Venus's location is ideal, much more ideal than Mars's. 2, the atmosphere is a great area and also has many benefits to it, especially in comparison to Mars. And 3, the gravity of Venus is perfect for human colonization. Now, to begin with, the location of Venus is an extremely ideal place to build a human colony. And this is because Venus, in comparison to Mars, is just 0.25 astronomical units away from Earth, while Mars is 0.5 astronomical units. And also, a single astronomical unit is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So that makes it so that space travel time is halved between the Earth and Venus in comparison to the Earth and Mars. And that will greatly reduce many problems that we have. And also, Lloyd and NASA, just to illustrate those problems, Lloyd in NASA's article, Gravity, Who Needs It, illustrates that flustered. Can I start over? No, we're too far in, aren't we? Okay, that gravity makes it so that you, being in zero-G environments, reduces your bone size 10 times faster than if you're in an environment, than if you have advanced osteoporosis. It is also closer to the sun, so we can get more solar power out of it. The atmosphere is also ideal because it is closer to Earth's atmosphere when you're at when you're 50 kilometers above the Venetian surface. This pressure reducing is also good in the fact that the temperature also begins to level out around 50 degrees Celsius, whereas on Mars it can either be negative 200 on the poles or positive 200 on the poles, which is a great reduction. In a low-altitude exploration of Venus by balloon, Landris states that these same facts, except he also adds on that the wind speeds of Venus makes it so that it has a perfect day and night cycle similar to that of Earth if we have balloons floating around it. Lastly, the atmospheric composition makes it so that Earth air is buoyant, similar to helium, which is why we can have cloud cities on Venus. It's able to float in such a way that just our breathable air can have buoyant effects similar to that of balloons. How crazy is that? So, in summary, Venus is an ideal place to have human inhabitants. Pollock Tombs tells us that the Venetian air is the Venusian surface, my bad, is not ideal. However, when we can colonize the air with space, with cloud cities, we are able to better off colonize this than even Mars, which is so popular in our popular culture. So I hope that you all consider Venus as your ideal destination rather than Mars. Thank you. And that was terrible. So much better when I was practicing. Got lost.